June is Audiobook Month. Join Viviana, the Enchantress of Books, and the Audiobook Lovin Series as she celebrates the authors and narrators who bring your favorite stories to life. Not only will this month be packed with exciting guest podcasts full of all things books, but stick around after each episode for some special information about this year's giveaway and more.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Season 9, Episode 17 of the Audiobook Lovin Series. My name is Neill Thorne, and today I'm sharing my top 5 reasons why I love being a narrator. Number 1. I get to act. I get to pretend. I get to perform. I get to go on adventures and fall in love and do all sorts of exciting things. I get to be different characters. I can be the evil villain with the British accent, the growly, brooding, Byronic hero, the rogue AI who wants to destroy humanity, the fantasy dwarf with a requisite Scottish accent, the geeky teenager who eventually becomes a superhero, or a snarky, sarcastic, average Joe thrown into a situation way over his head who rises to the occasion. Number 2. I get to feel the emotions of the characters. This may sound kind of strange, but in real life I'm kind of an easygoing guy. I don't really get too up or too down, and just kind of go with the flow. But when I am reading a book, and especially in those moments that are intensely emotional, I really enjoy connecting with the characters and their emotional journey. I love feeling the things that they're feeling, and sometimes that can be pretty intense. But I love the way it takes me out of my own experience in my own head and allows me to feel something different, feel something deeply, really. And I love that I get to share that with you, the listener. Number 3. Okay, so this is a little more personal, a little more real world, but I love that I get to have flexibility in my schedule. I can work at my own pace and take off time if I need to spend with my kids, or go on vacations, or go to the doctor, or run errands. Now granted, if I take time off, I'm not getting work done and I'm not getting paid, but it's still nice to be able to have that flexibility. Number 4. I also love being an audiobook narrator because of the community. I love the folks that are involved with it, the other narrators that I get to work with who are so incredibly talented, the authors who write the stories that I get to read. Their imagination never ceases to amaze me. Their humor, their emotional intelligence, their insight into the human experience is just astounding. And also the listener. You, I suppose, who come with such passion to listening to audiobooks and going on these journeys with us. I wouldn't be able to do what I do if it wasn't for you. Number 5. Being an audiobook narrator is honestly a dream come true. It's kind of something I've always wanted to do, believe it or not. From the time I was a kid, I always enjoyed reading out loud and doing character voices and accents and acting, and all of those things just come together as an audiobook narrator, so I really am living the dream, so to speak. And I am so honored and thrilled to be able to do that and to have you, the listener, be a part of it. So that's it. My top 5 reasons why I love being a narrator. I know it's pretty short and sweet and simple, but there's not a whole lot more to say. So I appreciate your time and you sitting here with me and listening to this podcast. Maybe we'll get a chance to hang out again soon. I hope so. Special thanks again to Viviana, Enchantress of Books, for allowing me to be here with you today. Have a good one, guys.
A special thank you to authors DJ Krimmer, Tana Stone, Landon Beach, PJ Fiala, and all of our sponsors of the Audiobook Lovin 2023 series.
Visit today's episode post to listen to sound clips of some of the books we discussed and enter the month-long giveaway. If you enjoyed the Audiobook Lovin podcast series and you want more, join the Audiobook Lovin podcast Patreon for early access to podcasts, exclusive content like the Would You Rather game and dinner party guests, and additional incentives such as bloopers, graphics, and much more. Support the podcast by becoming a Patreon at www.patreon.com/audiobooklovin. Thank you for joining Viviana and her guests for this podcast, and we hope you tune in again as we continue to celebrate Audiobook Month. The Audiobook Lovin Series is hosted by Viviana, the Enchantress of Books. Please make sure to visit the main page linked within the post to learn more about the entire Audiobook Lovin Series and the enchanting author and narrator guests who have joined us over the years. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please consider leaving a review wherever you listened, and please follow us on social media platforms and subscribe to the Viviana, the Enchantress of Books newsletter. Until next time, happy listening. Audiobook Lovin hopes you have enjoyed this program.